Good morning, my busy bees. You are now listening to the Morning Buzz here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. No, I'm not Gabby Lutz. I am Lara Ziccardi, and welcome to the Tuesday edition of the Morning Buzz. And join with me today is my co-host Cam Martin, our newscaster Emil McCormack, and our lovely sportscaster X. Now, we have a great show for you prepared today. We have a lot of news to get to. We're going to be talking about Queen Elizabeth. We're going to be talking about a New Jersey public worker battle to fend off big health insurance hikes. So please stay tuned for that one. And we're also talking about certain governors asking Joe Biden to cut student loan forgiveness and more. But without further ado, we have a newscast to get to. Emo.
Hi.
Hi, good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning.
Hi. So I'm newscasting today. The Emily segment host expands. Do it.
Oh, you got another hat now?
Hmm?
You got another hat?
I got another hat. I'm just collecting them all,
It's always a
It's a
good
Pokemon.
thing, jack of all trades,
Yeah.
master of none, but there is still the second half of that most people don't know about.
Not one bit.
Surprise, put it on your resume if you want.
One newscast, September 13th. Okay. So, hello everyone. In national news, yesterday afternoon, the Philadelphia rapper P&B Rock was fatally shot during a robbery at the Roscoe's House of Chicken and Waffles restaurant in South Los Angeles. According to the LA Times, Rock had been at the restaurant with his girlfriend, who had posted a location-tagged photo in a since-deleted Instagram post. The victim was taken to a hospital and pronounced dead at 1:59 p.m. Yesterday, a 60-year-old Egg Harbor city man was sentenced to 17 years in state prison for the 1996 aggravated sexual assault of a child and 2003 endangerment of another. According to a statement from the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office, Brian L. Avis pleaded guilty to the offense on June 6th. In Montclair news, 2 bats found in Montclair have tested positive for the rabies virus. The 2 bats were found on Garden Street on September 2nd. Yesterday, the Montclair Township Health Department was notified by the New Jersey Department of Health lab that 2 bats had tested positive. The weather for today is cloudy, but not with a chance of meatballs. The temperature outside right now is 70 degrees, but expect a high of 80 and a low of 63, and humidity is up by 92%. Ugh. We have a chance of showers around 12, but it's predicted to blow over around 5.
Thank you, Emo.
Of course.
That
I'm
was-
proud.
That was lovely. I'm so proud.
Did you like my I don't
Oh.
like humidity.
Humidity is gross.
Yes.
Humidity will be the death of us all.
Yes.
I agree.
I
Sobbing.
feel like it's terrible. Like, personally, I don't know if anybody else is this way, but before I even leave the house,
Mm-hmm.
I am already in like a base layer of sweat pre leaving the house. Like, deodorant on, cologne on. You're just walking through the house doing like that last check before you step out. And then I just realized, like, did I work out? And it's all humidity.
Yeah,
Humidity.
it happens to me all the time.
It is
Hate when that
terrible.
happens.
It's terrible. It
Single
reminds
tier
me
for
of
humidity.
sports, but that's how it is, I guess.
Ew.
That's the way it is.
I'm just
Mhm.
thinking about how sticky it is outside, and I'm just like, ew. So
Yes.
to get my mind off of that, actually have a sports cast, right?
Yes, ma'am. We do have a sports cast. And because it's Tuesday, it's going to be a little bit on the lighter side for all my ladies and germs. But let's get through this already. All right. So being Tuesday, we all know this is the greatest day of the week because it is the day after Monday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. All right. And the big game last night was the Seattle Seahawks versus the Broncos. Good old Russ. For most people that don't know, we're talking about Russell Wilson. He made a trip back home to his old team, the Seattle Seahawks. First game as the quarterback of the Broncos. And it was a great game for Russ. He actually did pretty decent. He had a touchdown. He had over 300 yards passing. He had about a 80% completion rating, going like 26 for 47, I believe. But after all that amazing play, Russ did end up taking an L in a last-second decision to take a 64-yard field goal, which would have tied the record for the longest NFL field goal.
No, I wouldn't.
No? They said
Justin Tucker last year.
Justin Tucker last year, yeah.
6-yarder.
66?
Yeah.
Oh wow, we got that cleared up. Thank you, Cam. And because of that, the Broncos lose on a last second chance. The field goal had the length. It just was a slight to the right. So give it up to Russ. He came back to his home field, which is never easy, but he made it work for the time being. I know that the Broncos will bounce back. They have a very efficient offense, and the Seattle Seahawks played out of their mind. Their crowd got into it, and, that's one of the hardest stadiums to play in due to how loud it could get. So shout out to Seattle for going into the season 1-0 and actually topping their division. The next game we want to talk about, the next sport we want to talk about will be baseball. And for the tri-state area, obviously, we're only worried about two teams in baseball, and that would be the Mets and the Yankees. The Yankees had the night off, but the Mets did not. They had they started their series against the Chicago Bears. I'm so sorry.
The other bear. Baby bears.
Yeah, the Chicago this weekend.
Cubs.
Thank you. The 2-5 loss for the Mets ended up putting their lead to just a game and a half ahead of the Braves. So hopefully with the last few games in the season, the Mets will be able to keep it together and keep off this push by the Braves to knock them out as the #1 seed in the division. And then in some other news for all our fans that are internationals, in the biggest league in the world, the English Premier League, more games will be canceled, even though majority of the league will be going back into the season. Due to the Queen's death this past weekend's games were postponed just so that fans and others can mourn the death of the Queen. And the games this weekend have been put back on. But there are a few games this weekend that will still be postponed. Manchester United's game against Leeds and Chelsea's meeting against Liverpool at Stamford Bridge will no longer go ahead this Sunday due to the lack of police force. And Saturday's fixture between Crystal Palace and Brighton also remains postponed. So for all of our international fans out there or big fans that watch the Premier League, it's all good. You will still get majority of your English games this weekend. Just a few of them will be missed. And for the ones that will be missed, replace them with Serie A, La Liga, or the Eredivisie. You can watch the Dutch, Spanish, and or the Italian league. And that's it for sports today, guys.
Sports.
Sports.
That was a beautiful sports cast.
They got the balls.
It's
Yeah.
They
Hey,
do.
Most
doing-
do.
We're doing a Cord Kid sports version. Yes.
Yeah.
It's the truth. They got the balls.
it's
Footballs, soccer balls, baseballs,
basketball,
basketballs.
softballs,
Softballs.
tennis balls,
Okay, on that note.
Hey, man, sports is nothing but balls. That's all it is.
Bowling balls.
bowling balls.
Yeah.
Golf balls.
Golf balls.
Golf balls are like little beans.
I'm telling you, there's
It's okay.
barely sports that you could think of that don't involve some
Frisbee.
type of ball.
Frisbee.
Yeah, that's
Track
A
and field.
bowling
No,
ball.
there's a shot put.
there's shot put involved with that, even though it's an
It's
iron
a
ball.
ball, but
Swimming.
like flattened.
Swimming.
That
Okay, fair enough. Swimming.
you guys, Emil I'm gonna say this just in case any of you haven't heard it. Emil just said frisbee is just a flattened ball.
Yeah.
She's
And
not
she's right.
wrong. You know what? She's not wrong. It is round. And for everybody that is
No, Cam.
currently only listening and not watching, Cam just walked out.
Cam Martin just stood up from his seat and just opened the door to the studio and he was gone. But
I've
now he
already-
has returned.
I made people done and it's not even 8 a.m.
I rage quit already.
It's okay.
Apologies.
I apologize for rage quit Nemo.
He was like, "Yeah, that's enough for that.
Today.
That's
Today's
enough for that."
over.
Today has been a chaotic morning, folks. I don't know about your mornings, but mine sure has been chaotic.
Oh, you and me both.
But let me get us back on track
Mhm.
because I will be the voice of reason. So right now we have some updates about the Queen, and with the latest updates from CNN, the UK government is telling people not to wait or camp out along the route where Queen Elizabeth's coffin will be transported to London tomorrow. In official guidance, the government said people who go the route in advance may be asked to move. The Department of Digital, Culture, Media, and Sport said on Wednesday at 9:22 a.m. Eastern Time. ET. Is that ET? Wait.
Yeah,
Standard
That's
time?
English. That's
Yeah.
England time, right?
England time.
Is that what ET?
So they
Eastern-
said this.
Eastern, no, yeah, because Eastern
ES
Standard
is us.
Time is
Standard.
us. Yeah, so it'd be
Mhm.
EST.
So they said that when it was their morning, because right now it's our morning, they said at a ceremonial procession will transport the coffin back from Buckingham Palace to Westminster Hall in the Houses of Parliament, where she will lie in state. Yesterday, King Charles II, excuse me, guys, my coffee is not working this morning.
Oh, didn't kick in yet?
Yesterday, I'm still not used to it, honestly.
Fair enough.
Yesterday, King Charles III, Princess Anne, Prince Andrew, and Prince Edward marched behind the hearse carrying their mother's coffin in a solemn procession attended by thousands along the Royal Mile in the historic heart of the Scottish capital, Edinburgh. Following the procession, a memorial service for Queen Elizabeth II was held at St. Giles Cathedral in Edinburgh. The coffin, with the crown of Scotland resting on a cushion on top of it, is said in the 12th century cathedral until today. Soon after the service had ended, the cathedral opened to members of the public who wished to pay their respects to the late queen. But we have some New Jersey news as well.
Yes, we do.
We definitely do.
I'll say so. New Jersey public workers battle to fend off big health insurance hikes hitting a fever pitch. Hundreds of thousands of government employees are on the march in New Jersey as a battle over health care premiums reach a breaking point, and the fallout could have financial implications for millions of Garden State taxpayers. According to NJ.com, a coalition of at least 14 labor unions will rally today at the State House in Trenton, delivering what could be the final salvo before the state health board's votes on a proposed rates increase of more than 20% of health plans. This plan covers more than 800,000 state and local government workers, including more than 100,000 teachers. The vote initially was scheduled for late July, but a leaked copy of the proposal ignited a firestorm, and the meeting was canceled following public backlash from local governments and state lawmakers. The State Health Benefits Commission, chaired by New Jersey Treasurer Elizabeth Moyo, is now set to meet tomorrow to vote on the proposal. If approved, it will lift premiums by about 21% for state workers, and rates for local governments would rise by roughly 24%. Employees would see an annual rise in premiums by about $1,500 to $1,800 on a typical family plan, amounting to a pay cut of up to 1.5%, according to union leaders who spoke to reporters on Friday during a virtual press briefing.
You know what I really don't like
What?
is that health insurance
Is already expensive?
is expensive, but not only that people don't believe in it.
Oh yeah, no, because here's the thing. I have I got health insurance under my name for the first time in 2020. Good timing too, because I got into a car accident like immediately, like a month after I get it. So
The timing of that is uncanny.
I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't have to pay a dime for the because my health insurance paid for everything. So all right, cool. I'm chilling. And so health insurance is great. And as time goes on, a lot you understand you might need that. You don't know when you're gonna need it, but you might need that some way, somehow, or some way, shape, or form. And if you don't have access to it, it's a pretty penny to pay for a lot of things.
Yeah, it definitely is. I myself, I'm currently under the school's health insurance, so that's the only way I get health insurance. But if I'm not in school, I have nothing, and I run the risk. Let's God forbid I go to a gym and decide I want to play basketball with the boys, torn ACL,
Literally anything.
yeah, any slight thing, and you're looking at an arm and a leg just to fix your arm and leg.
No, not an arm for an arm.
I can't even, I feel bad even laughing at that. But no, seriously, like honestly, some people in power believe that health insurance, like people don't need, like they're just not for the healthcare because, do you know what I mean?
It's
too
like
early.
they look at it as more like they don't see it as a right.
It's a luxury to them.
Exactly. So like we need these. You don't understand how much health insurance really plays a difference, plays a role to to the masses, because not everyone has access to, having funding like that to be able to, you break your finger. Oh, no, let me just go get that fixed real quick. So,
Nope. And that will cost you how much money? Too much money.
how much money? Another finger.
It's funny because I think I was on TikTok one day and this woman came up on my For You page and she said it is so much money to have a child, like to give birth in the hospital. It's like $36,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, about, give or take, depending on where you live. Please don't quote me on that,
I'm not
but
gonna quote you on that.
it's really expensive. And not only that, I'm trying to think. Like there's a thing called skin to skin contact when with the baby. Oh, apparently if you want that after you birth your child, that would also cost money.
To hold your child?
Yes.
That's tough.
Wow.
Yeah, there's money you have to pay to hold your child. And
tough.
on top of that, guys, I did hear this stat a while ago on a podcast I listened to, which, amazing podcast, All In. Shout out to the All In guys. If you guys even listening to this, you're probably not, you're a bunch of billionaire venture capitalists. But they were talking about how the price of raising a child has risen in our country. And to raise a child in the US, it is almost now $300,000.
That's a pretty penny right there.
That's pre-college, guys.
That
Think
is.
about that. That's pre-college. Then you add on a possible another 150 to almost 200,000.
My kids better be good in school and get that scholarship money though.
I'm telling you,
Look out for me.
To raise a child, it's basically to raise a child, you own a house.
Oh, that's
You're
true.
paying a second mortgage by owning a child.
Owning a child,
having a child, owning a child, you know what I mean? But like to have a child in the United States, you will be paying a second mortgage.
And I just feel bad for these people that are fighting for, a human right. And I'm sure they have families. I'm sure they have to take care of themselves and other people. And I just hope this goes to good. But we have even more news to talk about. We're really going to hit it home today, folks. Almost half of the U.S. governors asked Joe Biden to cut student loan forgiveness. LOL. But let us get to the facts, shall we? So just in this morning, nearly half of the country's governors have signed off a letter to present to President Joe Biden asking him to withdraw his student loan forgiveness plan that would cancel up to $20,000 for federal aid borrowers. Governors said in a letter dated yesterday, quote, "As governors, we support making higher education more affordable and accessible for students in our states, but we fundamentally oppose your plan to force American taxpayers to pay off student loan debt for the elite few." According to NPR, the governors, all Republicans, argue that the lowest income Americans will be paying the debt of doctors, lawyers, and professors with, quote, "the most debt, such as $50,000 or more." Though Biden's plan caps relief. Sorry, you guys, I really cannot talk this morning just because of how
Crazy it's been.
Not only that, just how crazy the world has been, but let me please continue. Though Biden's plan caps relief at $20,000 for those who receive Pell Grants awarded to low-income families and $10,000 for students who did not get Pell Grants in college. Additionally, individuals who make more than $125 a year are not eligible for the one-time relief. It further argues that it is unfair to those who previously paid off their student loans. The governors also expressed concern that the forgiveness plan could encourage higher education institutions to drive up their costs and therefore worsen inflation. And for context, the letter is signed by 22 Republican governors. You guys,
Enough said.
Right? Like, the thing, you know why they're mad, right?
Yeah.
This is just a speculation, guys. This is just a theory. And as always, our opinions.
Time to go down the rabbit hole.
Quick PSA, our opinions don't reflect WMSC or Montclair State University. They're our own. But in my humble opinion, I know why these people are mad. It's
Conspiracy theory time.
And that's just a theory, a buzz theory.
Here we go.
It's because they're probably making much more than $125,000 a year.
Yeah.
They either paid for their kids' college already, and they're like, "Why don't we get a cut?" You're making so much money. PSA.
You don't
Well,
need
I
that
mean,
money.
I don't know. It's just
I will play devil's advocate here because somebody has to, at least, to every side should be spoken.
fair enough.
What if you don't become rich by being not frugal?
That's true.
And I mean, if I were rich and I had the ability to fight it and argue it, I'm gonna try to get every penny I possibly can too, because just because I'm rich doesn't mean I'm not gonna want to be like, hey,
The rich want to stay
cut down
richer.
my bill
The
a
ri-
little bit.
The rich want to stay richer.
Yeah,
So
man.
any little bit of money that they could find a way to get past without paying, they're gonna take every advantage.
Yeah,
they can.
whatever write-off has to be written off, or whatever business venture you did in so and so year, take it off the list or whatever, and find a way to get that pay that college cut, taking it down from whatever Harvard's making people pay a year down a 20 grand or 10 grand.
That's true. Trust me, I understand. But the thing is I feel I want to speak for the people who are either going to eat that month or pay their student loans.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole that's my thing really, because I feel like people like college graduates are so stressed about paying their loans back right away.
That is true.
And it comes down to, oh, am I going to survive or am I going to pay off my loans? And just to have a little bit of relief probably means the world for a lot of college graduates, because either they didn't find a job yet, they're trying to find a job, or they're simply not making enough to live,
Which
Yeah.
is so unfortunate
I know.
that we have individuals like that in this ever so successful country of ours. But capitalism.
Capitalism doesn't rest. And with that being said, we're going to take a very short break here.
You're gonna
Morning
rest
Buzz.
though.
I gotta let that sink in a little bit. like honestly. So don't worry, you guys, we'll be right back. Point three WMSC Upper Montclair. Just for a little time check, it is 7:28 a.m. So good morning, my lovely people.
Morning.
Good morning. With that being said, we have a lot more news to get to. So, Ukraine drove Russian forces back with a stunning offense. So the tide appears to have turned. In a development that stunned the watching world as much as the Kremlin, Ukrainian troops have set Russian President Vladimir Putin back on his heels after more than 6 months, raising hopes that Kyiv could push and drive Moscow's invaders out of even more territory. According to NBC News, Ukrainian forces have routed Russian soldiers. You guys, I really can't talk today.
It's okay.
It's really been an off
You're
morning.
doing great, sweetie.
Thank you. But like, you know, when like the coffee is kicking in, but it's just not working in your brain.
Yeah.
That's me right now. But Russian forces have routed Russian soldiers from the northeastern region of Kharkiv, forcing Putin's men to retreat after a surprise counteroffensive that left Kremlin's cheerleaders scrambling to adjust its military, racing to gather its defenses in the east and south. Ukraine's military said it had retaken more than 1,200 square miles this month. Britain's defense ministry backed this up, saying in an update yesterday that, quote, Ukraine has recaptured territory at least twice the size of Greater London, which is roughly the size of Rhode Island. But NBC News has not verified these claims. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky captured the increasingly optimistic mood in his country in stirring remarks and triumphant comments on social media. Seeking to press their advantage, Ukrainian forces yesterday kept pushing deeper into territory previously controlled by Russian troops. That being said,
Ukraine W.
yeah, thoughts and prayers with Ukraine as always.
We hope that this thing comes to an end soon. I hate to hear that either side loses people because the people that are causing the fight to happen aren't suiting up to do the fight thing. So there are unfortunate lives being lost on both sides. So prayers up to both forces, unfortunately.
Violence is such an ugly thing in this world, and I just hope that everyone can experience peace eventually. And hopefully it'll be soon.
I would love to say that, but
I know.
Listen,
we're like, as a civilization, fighting is just,
that's the way it is. That's the way
Yeah.
of life.
it is
Honestly,
the way of life.
I hope that they both sides can find peace at the end of the calendar year.
Yeah. I just hope it happens soon.
Yeah,
That's
It's
what-
gonna have to happen soon because there's a lot more that plays into it. You know, a lot of
Yeah.
Europe is starting to go
Mhm.
into recession, and obviously their nat gas is being messed with by Putin,
Yeah.
talking about turbines being off, and that's the reason why they had to shut down the gas to Germany and whatnot. So if winter rolls around before this ends, we're gonna be looking at some real tough business going on.
It's gonna be a cold winter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very.
Speaking of cold people, anyway, Trump lawyers oppose Justice Department efforts to regain access to seized documents. Yesterday, lawyers from former President Donald Trump urged federal judge to continue to block Justice Department investigators from reviewing more than 100 sensitive documents seized by the FBI during its search at Mar-a-Lago. According to CBS News, the latest in the legal back and forth between the former president's legal team and federal prosecutors. A 21-page response to a Justice Department request is asking the court to lift parts of an order blocking the use of the documents for investigative purposes. Trump's lawyers called the federal probe into handling of sensitive records unprecedented and misguided, and said there is no indication of any purported classified records or disclosed to anyone. In a separate filing yesterday afternoon, lawyers from the former president also objected to two candidates proposed by the Justice Department, retired judges Barbara Jones, who served on the U.S. District Courts in Manhattan, and Thomas Griffith, who served on the U.S. Courts of Appeals in Washington. Both are set to serve as an independent third party to review the records seized by the FBI during its August 8th search at Mar-a-Lago. Trump's legal team did not detail why the former president is opposed to the Justice Department's special master's suggestion, telling the court, quote, "It is more disrespectful to the candidates from either party to withhold the basis for opposition from a public and likely to be widely circulated."
You guys.
Why did he have these dang papers, bro?
Bruce.
Like, why?
X, don't even get me started.
Why? I
Don't-
mean, I've heard some theories that he's like an extreme hoarder.
Mm.
That like a lot of people think that, he's
Busted.
not the type of guy. He likes this country too much to be the type of guy to like involve himself in espionage. So having those files to like sell them to the highest bidder is not something most people believe he would do. But what most people believe is that he truly sees himself still as president, which more power to you, not my business. You believe what you want to believe.
If that's the case, Cam 2024.
He still thinks he's president, and he keeps the papers to like brag to people because we all know him as a bragger. So he wants to be like, hey, yo,
He likes you say more like this.
I have the nukes to so and so's country.
I got the launch codes for
all the things.
And he just brings people back into a secret room and
I don't think
hey, take a look. Here's my trophy cabinet.
I just want to say the chokehold this man has on one, the Republican Party, two, on the media is
people.
ridiculous.
He is the chosen one. He
No.
is the Anakin
No.
Skywalker. He is the Anakin Skywalker of the Republican Party because if he
That's hilarious.
no, and you know what's
That's
crazy?
hilarious.
If you are backed by Donald Trump as a Republican nominee
you win.
within this last couple of years,
You're winning.
You're
winning.
winning.
Like there's no
You're
doubt about it.
winning. There have been a bunch of cases shown where guys that weren't full, MAGA in their different Senate races and also congressional races that are coming up. This guy backs them once or twice and then poof, they won.
It's lit. I am only 20 years old, but I've never seen. Actually, no. You know what? I can't say I've never seen A, B, C, and D because this is such a like.
This is
I've been
F.
seeing. We've been well.
This is
This is L.
this
you
is
guys.
down. We've gone down so many letters at this point.
We're already down to Z.
Yeah.
Like, genuinely.
We're going to double A soon.
Get out.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
correct. But no, seriously, I remember hearing about this man my freshman year in high school, and the fact that we're still talking about it my junior year of college.
God, you're old.
Are you serious?
God, you're old.
Okay,
Okay, Kevin Hart.
you're a year older than me, Cam.
Oh, you're right.
Anyway,
Only
back to
Cam, though.
back
Hi,
to
Cam.
I don't want to just brush the fact. I don't want to just brush the theory aside that X said he might be a hoarder because I 100% really
Oh, I
think
see
it's
that.
true. Because honestly, I'm surprised the White House hasn't invited the people from the hit TV show TLC, Hoarders Buried Alive.
Oh my God. Imagine the TLC episode
White House
of
special.
Donald J. Trump.
Here,
Hoarding.
Mar-a-Lago. We have former President Donald J. Trump. Look at all this. Look at all these documents we got right here.
Look at all that.
And they just put the cameras on it. And
We got launch codes.
we got super classified kind of things.
Listen,
over here.
we got bankruptcy records.
Yeah.
We got everything here.
I heard supposedly a part of it. I heard a part of it was the French president, like personal information on other foreign policymakers are a part of some of the paperwork that he had. So like he could very easily just be like, yeah, and I know what the French president or Angela Merkel, the former vice president, former prime minister of Germany, I know what they do in the middle of the day. She likes to drink tea at this time and he needs to go work out at this time. I'm like, why? Just why? Why were these the things that you found important enough that you had to have the FBI basically kick your door in?
Listen, because
to get back?
because in his eyes, he was making America great again by not worrying about Americans.
Okay.
Don't know how that works.
I mean, I'm not even gonna argue with that one.
Weird flex, but okay.
Yeah, it is. It is a very strange flex, but hey, you know what, Donald? More power to you. More power to you.
I can't even be mad at you for saying that because seriously, like, good for you, I guess, as Olivia Rodrigo would put it.
Can't finish the rest of the song.
Good for you. Look happy and healthy.
I mean,
No.
those two words in him, I don't know if they should be put fully in the same sentence, happy and healthy. But
Oh,
You know what?
that's tough. That's tough.
You
it's
know,
the truth.
you,
I'm just saying.
you know what, X? That was really brutal. And speaking of brutal, this is Brutal by Olivia
No
Rodrigo.
way.
It's like
Oh,
Welcome back here on the Morning Buzz here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Just to give you a little time check, it is currently 7:39 a.m. But welcome back because we have more news to report to you. So
News.
guess what, guys? Today is finally the day.
News.
You know, oh, can we defrog? But
Frog
can we
here.
defrog? Anyway, iMessages can finally be edited and deleted in the new iOS update.
True story.
I've experienced this firsthand. Cam texted me something this morning and it said edited, so I'm like, what? Anyway, we've all been there. You just sent a message to someone and you wish you didn't.
the spicy.
First of all, that's on you. Just kidding. I'm just kidding. But we have some good news though. According to the Washington Post, the new iOS 16 software update for iPhones, Apple has finally added an edit and undo send function to its messages app. It's a long overdue remedy to stop the iPhone's autocorrect from ducking up your messages.
That's hilarious.
That's really funny. Here are the steps and a few things that are good to know. In the iMessage app, you're going to tap and hold on the message you just sent, and the box will come up. Tap and edit it. It'll fix your message, and then you can tap the blue check mark. And just like that, your embarrassment is now over.
I don't know if it's going to show up.
But, oh, Cam is texting me again. But here's something that you have to keep in mind. You only have 15 minutes to edit a message. Apple shrank the window after feedback that longer windows could be abused. But you know what, guys? I'm too embarrassed. What if I want to erase it all together? No problem. In the messages app, tap and hold the message you sent, and up pops a little box comes up, and there will be an undo send option. But just keep in mind, you only have 2 minutes to delete a message. And most of all, know all of this only works when you're texting people with iPhones. Messages to your Android friends, you know, the ones who live in the green bubbles, are sent in plain old SMS format and that can't be changed or forgotten. Before we talk about this, does anyone know what SMS stands for? No.
Standard
Standard message.
message something.
Short-
Standard message.
Message.
Short messaging system.
Oh,
Shout out to my mom for teaching me that one.
Hi, Mom.
okay.
Wow.
That's new. Learn something new every day.
well, yeah. I'm just, I don't know if it's gonna show up.
Hands
but-
over here showing everybody exactly how to do it, but
Demo in the studio.
I'm getting a demo directly to my phone.
I'm telling you guys, this could have been used like 10 years ago.
Oh no,
You know
I
how
100%
many
agree.
how many text messages I've sent and regretted? How many like crushes I've definitely crushed in the process of any opportunity?
Listen, I have experienced that myself. Actually, the reason why I had this crush on this one girl, the first girl I actually like really fell in love with. I poured out my heart. I wish I did not pour out my heart because as a result, I have not talked to her since. High school's a tough time.
Hell.
High school is
know.
always a tough time. I like my current like crush right now. She doesn't have an iPhone.
Oh,
Like
Does she have a flip phone?
no, she does not.
that
No,
Ojo?
she doesn't.
That's a red flag.
She, I guess, wants to be different. I have a relative. He's a big, different type of guy. But my crush, she has a Google phone.
You guys, I'm not making fun of her specifically. Would just like to say that. But you guys, like iPhones are just so terrible. That's why I have a Google phone.
Yeah.
I'm just so quirky. I'm not.
I mean,
like the iPhone
she,
girlies.
I can admit, like the pictures she's able to
much
get
better.
with her
They're much
phone.
better.
Oh, they're nuts. Like my current IG profile picture is something that she took when we had recently hung out. And I was like, bro, I can't be getting this with my iPhone all the time and upgrading every new iPhone just to get a
Just to-
slightly better camera.
Nah.
Is it worth it?
Mm,
Is it really worth it?
no.
I have an iPhone X, so
I
Oh, that's hilarious. You have an iPhone U.
and a
Aw, that's
Oh.
cute.
yeah, basically it's an iPhone me for anybody that doesn't understand the reference, Xavier. But yeah, I have an iPhone X. I rock with that. I don't even know if I'll get the 14.
I
14 is expensive.
have-
too.
exists.
It's coming out soon.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it's about that time. We had the Apple event.
That's so weird.
You had the iOS update.
It's about darn
I don't-
time.
I'm not one to ever update my phone. Like I'm annoying. Like I just don't do it.
He wants to
for
run
a
on
long
iOS
time.
13.
I mean, it makes
Yeah.
sense. It
I
makes
still use
sense.
my iPhone 6. Nah.
The way I look at it is, do you have enough? Well, how many gigabytes of space do you have, Emo?
Enough.
Remaining. Or like like overall.
Yes.
I have
Yes.
56.
And then how much do you have remaining?
2.
Oh, dang. I was gonna say. I mean, if you have enough space on your phone, I personally don't. I wouldn't get a new iPhone.
There's no
Just
need to do this.
update the iOS and
Call it a day.
See, I don't need more space though. I just need to delete things.
Me.
The problem with having so much space is then you get in the habit of not deleting things. and
Yeah.
then I just don't. And now I'm stuck with a million.
quick
things.
question for the lady listeners. Is it a girl to guy thing? Because every guy I know has an abundance of space on their phone because we don't take pictures, obviously,
Let me
most
verify.
of us.
Oh,
But
wait a
like the only space that like gets eaten up on my phone is getting eaten up by
Apps.
music and apps. Majority of my space on my phone is eaten up by music. that I
28
download.
gigabytes left. And I'm
Wait,
I'm
where do
figure-
I go to find that? I'm an
You
old-
go to your settings.
Uh-huh. I'm an old lady. I'm sorry.
And then you click on your
iPhone
yeah.
I got 22 gigabytes because I found a really long video.
upgrades.
I got rid of.
There you go.
Win.
iCloud. Okay.
Yep.
Guess guess how
All
many gigabytes my photos app takes up.
Let's hear it.
No, I want at least one guess.
I need
One guess.
64 gigs.
And you said you 200 something gigs. I'm
Yeah.
gonna say 150.
177.
Oh my goodness.
And my iMessages are 33.
Jeez.
But I don't like someone who has 2 of those gigabytes, so there goes 2
there
more
goes
gigabytes.
2 more gigabytes Laura, what is your
Okay.
phone space looking like?
Okay, so overall, I have 114 of 200, and yes, I pay extra for the 200 gigs.
Respectfully.
But photos takes up 78 gigs. iCloud Drive takes up 30, and then iMessages does 3.
Okay, Cam,
Okay,
what
so-
are we looking at?
So I only have 128 gigs.
Yep.
I have a lot of apps,
Okay.
so there's that. I also have a whole lot of unread messages. I have 250 unread messages.
Oh my God, my
Text
anxiety,
messages.
my
Yeah.
anxiety just went through
Yeah.
the roof
I
listening
got
to them.
3 and I can't even take it right now.
I got 250, and if I was to just clear that out, that's like literally 10 gigs right there. I could save up
Why don't you clear it?
because it's just.
Oh my good, nah, they couldn't. Nah.
Also, every single day. Shout out to my dad. He sends us pictures and videos every single day
That's
And-
cute
and-
though.
in 3 different group chats.
He was like, "Well, if you didn't see it in this one, I'll make sure you get to see it in the others."
You guys, our lovely general manager, Professor Poland, is in our morning buzz chat on our Discord, and she told us that she has 1.4 terabytes of photos.
What?
I understand. Listen,
Huh?
I'm a photo junkie myself, but I understand.
Holy professor. That's
Terrible.
nice. That's
But
she went from the G to the T. Like
That's crazy.
I mean, even myself personally, all right. I have 512 gigabytes on my iPhone X.
Listen, that's why I just got Google Photos.
I have 87 gigabytes of space taken up, and almost 50% of that gigabyte is podcasting, and the other 4 to 5 is music. Literally, all I do is listen to music or listen to podcasts.
That's valid.
I don't do anything else on my phone. My
Stop
phone is useless to me. I just don't see the need of having that many pictures, I guess. But
I
had
just
to
have,
ask.
like,
Shout out to Professor
nonsense
Poland because
screenshots.
the reason why there's so many photos.
close
She uses it to recruit people.
close to yo,
She says, "quote I have a kid."
Okay.
I get it.
Okay,
enough.
that makes
I mean,
sense.
I don't get it, but I
understand.
get it.
I understand.
Yeah,
I understand. I don't get it. I understand.
I definitely understand. I always wanted to have that parent that was
I thought
camera
was-
texting you every second. So when you get older, you could be look back and be like, oh, I was that much of a little crap.
that's what
Anyway.
that's what my dad does. My dad has all old pictures of us. This is blackmail. So yeah.
Oh,
Fair enough.
Lol.
Emo,
Hi.
it is time for the tunes of
Oh my
Tuesday.
goodness, it is.
Yeah.
Hi.
Sorry, Emo.
Well, it's okay. I'm Emil, and I'm going to tell you about Tunes on Tuesday. It is our weekly new music show curated by the music team here at WMSC. This week's interview is with pop punk band Yet to Bloom, interviewed by our news team trainee and Wednesday Buzz newscaster Aiden Ivers. Shout out Aiden Ivers. I was so excited to see that he's done another interview this week. He's really cool. The band talks about what inspired and led them to play their roles in their group and talk about their personal musical history and how they came together to form Yet to Bloom via Instagram polls. The band talks about their preferred musical genres, their lyric writing process, and talk about their experiences performing at Berkeley. They talk about powering through musical inspiration blocks and utilizing personal struggles to enhance the message of their songs. They discuss their newest single, People Pleaser, which comes out September 16th, so look out for that on Friday. And they also have a show on September 19th and multiple unreleased singles for everyone to look forward to. Music from Yet to Bloom and more on Tunes on Tuesday, which airs at 2 and 6 p.m. Eastern Time. You can listen in for new music and good vibes. And if you missed last week's episode, no need to worry. All episodes of the show are available on our website, wmscradio.com.
Yay.
We have one of
So-
those.
Huh?
We have one of those.
What?
A
A
website.
website? Yeah, it's up too.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I made
For
sure
those
of it.
who are not in the loop of our joke, every what was it last
Don't-
year
don't-
when
Mhm.
Jake was the
can we
Web
inform
director.
everybody about who
Shout
Jake
out
is?
Jake Getz, our
Um,
current associate programming director.
facts,
you.
we would always ask if the website was up,
Yeah.
and he always said yes.
every single meeting.
Every meeting,
Yes.
it got
Yeah.
really, it got old
Get
quick.
old, really old.
Yeah.
That's why
But-
email just says the website is up.
I just gave the update. Everyone just needs to know because everyone wants to know. But it is still there and it is beautiful, it is thriving. and Lara's jumping up and down.
Sorry, you guys.
What's up?
Professor Poland just told us that Steve Herring, like Joe Keery's band, artist name, has an album coming out on Friday.
Oh wow.
Guys, I know it's about Joe Keery, but I love Steve Harrington so much. When I got my wisdom teeth out, they put the stuff in you to like
Laughing
make you ha
gas?
ha ha.
Mhm.
Yeah. When I eventually got out of that, the only thing I really kept saying when I was coming down was, I love Steve Harrington so much.
Would you guys hate me if I said I don't know who she's talking about?
You guys don't know who you
No,
guys don't watch Stranger Things?
no.
Mm.
What?
Oh wait, now okay, so I do watch Stranger Things. Who
Still-
of the characters is Steve Harrington?
I love Steve.
Still no for me.
I watch it, but Laura, inform us. Who is Steve
I-
Harrington? Which character?
He's the one with the most amazing hair.
Okay, so
Oh,
that's
so-
a lot of
oh, Steve
individuals.
Harrington.
on that show.
Oh, so Steve
Not gonna
Harrington
hold
got it.
you.
Yeah.
They all have pretty decent haircuts in that show.
Honestly, all of them have great hair.
They do.
Like seriously, that's honestly kind of hard to narrow down one person. But don't worry, X, just for you, I'm going to show you who Steve is. Don't worry.
Okay. I feel like I
those
know
of
who
you-
he is, but I don't know who he is.
For those of you who don't know, I'm talking about Joe Keery, aka Steve Harrington from Stranger Things. If you don't know what he looks like, I'm sorry. But his band is called the Joe, and it's spelled DJO, and that's quite interesting.
Mm.
Okay, now I see. And you know what's funny? I honestly
Love
could
this
see
man.
him being a lead singer of a band of some sort, which is very, very interesting.
You guys, I'm so sorry. I'm very feral right now. I love
Yeah.
this man.
She is losing her mind. For all the people that cannot watch us right now, she is really, really having it. It's like one of those moments where it's like, for every like, I'm gonna make Steve's head bigger. That's definitely what's going on
Stop it.
in the messages right now.
In our script, X just keeps
There's-
zooming in on Steve's
That's
face.
not even X. That's not even X.
It's not even me. I haven't touched the laptop. Evil is like, for every time we say Steve's name, she's like, make his head bigger.
Okay,
Make
well,
his head bigger.
it's in the Tunes on Tuesday section, so
I see it. I see
will-
it. You guys, I see it. Wait. I
There we go. There we
Beautiful.
go.
stop.
I've
You
never
know-
I've never listened to his music, which is crazy. I might have to give his band a listen to. What kind of what genre do they fall into,
Probably
Laura?
indie.
I honestly have no idea, but
Andy. I listen to him.
I've heard him on alternative stations
Oh,
before.
sorry.
beautiful. It sounds like we'll have to try to play him, but apparently he's playing in New Jersey.
Ooh, where in Jersey?
I'm not 100%. You know what? We're gonna do some research right now.
Go ahead.
And
shout out to all bands in Jersey.
Ooh, I'm
Shout out
looking
to
at
all Jersey
Asbury
bands.
Park.
Wait, where?
I don't know. I don't
Asbury
know
Park?
when.
Let's find out.
Asbury Park.
Okay.
It says then.
We're-
Yep, Asbury Park.
He's playing in Fairview, New Jersey. is
no.
what-
Fairview.
Wait, just kidding. Wait,
Asbury
just
Park,
kidding.
September 17th.
So look at this Saturday.
A festival. The
So what
See
is-
Here Now Festival.
See here now.
It's
Fest.
spelled like sea, like the
Like
ocean.
sea.
Haha.
That's hilarious.
So funny.
Okay. Shout out to Steve. For all those who watch Stranger Things and are trying to figure out who Steve is, he is the emotional guy that wishes he could
Ooh.
have been with the girl that dumped him for a quiet guy that moves to California.
So just as the
Steve is the love
just
of
as
my
me.
life.
Got it.
I-
It's all good, Cam.
I'm also
I love you.
high key looking up the rest of the lineup for that. And
Who do we got?
we got Stevie Nicks.
Well,
We got Green Day.
oh, you will never.
We got Cage the Elephant.
You're time to.
So
Let's go.
Class field trip.
That's
Wait,
field trip.
Never
Let's
mind.
go.
I only be in the state. Never mind.
Ty Verdes. Shout out Ty Verdes.
Honestly, the only one I really listen to is Stevie Nicks and Green Day. I love Green Day.
Oh my god! Growing up as a kid,
Oh,
I had a
got a
friend.
shirt today.
I had a friend that wanted to put me on to like rock music when
Mhm.
growing up. Shout out to my best friend Chris Steele and his band Sucker Punch.
Mhm.
But he made me think I was going to be the biggest like rock metalhead listening to Slipknot, Green Day, My Chemical Romance. Yeah, it didn't work out that way, but still, shout out to him.
It's funny because I like how just Slipknot was just shoved in there with like My Chem and Green
Listen,
Day.
I love Slipknot.
Because
For
Slipknot,
any individual that doesn't know, Xavier is in love with Slipknot, especially the song Psychosocial.
Then marry the song.
I wish I could.
Slipknot to me is like this post metal genre, and Green Day and My Chem are more emo, alternative, pop, punk rock ish. Under the umbrella of rock, though, like rock is such a big umbrella because it rocks.
My
Huh.
Chemical Romance is under the umbrella.
The umbrella.
Get it?
Umbrella Academy.
Umbrella Academy.
For those of you who don't know, the lead singer of My Chemical Romance, Gerard Way, has written the comic The Umbrella Academy, and it's been turned into a Netflix show.
Is that a joke?
No,
No, it's
that's
true.
not
a joke.
no. He made all the comics, and so the show is inspired by his work, and he's a part of the production of it.
It's very true.
Wow. Shout out to him.
Honestly,
Tried to watch the new season, and it just didn't grab me yet.
Really? That's surprising.
it wasn't. I liked the first two a lot more
The second
than
one,
the third.
my personal favorite was 2.
Mhm.
It was really good.
That
I like
one was
2.
great. 2 was amazing.
Was fantastic.
I don't dislike the third one, but I
Okay.
understand why people don't like it as much.
Why is that?
I don't know. It's just like personally, I feel like the pandemic might have affected it a little bit because this isn't a spoiler, but most of it is like shot in the same location. And I feel like maybe that had a lot to do with it, and maybe they had to alter the story because of that.
That makes sense.
Also, I was a little disappointed by like the first 2 seasons had an amazing soundtrack. The soundtrack was still great for season 3, but I felt like there should have been more music. I don't know if people think like there shouldn't be, because they use like iconic songs, and I feel like that just aids in.
Do you think
The
TV
show-
shows? Do you think shows should be having like shows? Sorry.
You're good. You're good.
Shows like Stranger Things and Umbrella Academy, multi-series Netflix shows. Do you think they should have soundtracks?
Absolutely.
Or is it should be more just based off of how descriptive and detailed the storyline is? Because I know like myself growing up watching anime, though I was really, as much as I was interested in the anime, the openings and closings of animes are like to die for. I have a full gym playlist of anime openings and closings.
To me, music just sometimes makes the piece of just brings it to life. You know what I mean?
I think it also depends like on the show. Like with Umbrella Academy, it's pretty consistent that they have music, like iconic music. If you just kind of throw it on every once in a while, I feel like then it's out of place. But I also know like they usually use songs during like action-packed scenes, and I guess in a way I'm saying like I wish there was a little bit more of that. I guess it was a little slow and kind of confusing, and not a spoiler, but the ending for me was just like I didn't really understand. But there will be a season 4, and that will be the final season of the Umbrella Academy, and some people were very disappointed by the 3rd season, and so be it. I'm still looking forward to the 4th and seeing how the story wraps up.
Lara is looking at the ending. Oh, good.
Is the ending
good
as
gosh.
bad as the ending was for Game of Thrones? The way people made the ending of that out. To
Stop.
clarify, I still have not watched Game of Thrones. I've made it through like 1 or 2 episodes, and I always fall asleep after that. Like I can never make it past the first couple. But like, is the ending comparable?
I mean, I haven't seen it either, but like I've heard about it. I feel like not even just the ending, just the whole season, everyone was just like, eh. So like I feel like a lot of people didn't even necessarily get to the end of that, because I know a lot of people either have already finished it or gave up like within a couple episodes for some reason.
I just don't watch TV like that. Only thing I really watch on TV is sports.
Yep, that kind of makes sense.
Here on 90.3 WMC Upper Montclair, that's all I do. So
It's sports.
yeah, sports.
Yeah.
I'm a big sports guy. I do sports and anime. That's how I mix it up. Throw some
Interesting.
news in for just to add some spice to my life.
Spice. That's kind of funny.
Yeah, news is the spice.
I did a little
Nice.
bit of
But we're
Spanish.
hitting that chaos hour, aren't we?
We
Yeah.
absolutely are hitting off that chaos hour. You guys, we are going to be talking a lot of fun things here on 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. We're going to be doing Am I in the Wrong in a little bit, and we're also going to be talking about Brendan Fraser, Harry Styles, Trisha Paytas. I'm not ready for that one, you guys, but you're gonna have to stay tuned.
What a trio that is.
With that
Ooh.
being said, hey X, you ready for this? Ready to do a newscast?
Ready to do a newscast?
Newscast.
Xavier doing a newscast for the very first time.
Heck yeah.
Yes, I am so ready for the newscast.
Take it away, homie.
All right, let's do it. Let's start off with our national newscast then. Yesterday afternoon, the Philly rapper PNB Rock was fatally shot during a robbery in the Roscoe House of Chicken and Waffles restaurant in South Los Angeles. According to LA Times, Rock had been at the restaurant with his girlfriend, who had posted a location tagged photo and since been deleted from Instagram, was the cause of the tracking for that individual. The victim was taken to the hospital and was pronounced dead at 1:59. Shout out to PNB Rock, and we send our condolences to to his family. Very big artist, unfortunately. Yesterday, a 60-year-old Egg Harbor City man was sentenced to 17 years in state prison for the 1996 aggravated sexual assault of a child and the 2003 endangerment of another. According to the statement from the Atlantic County Prosecutor's Office, Brian L. Avis pled guilty to both offenses on June 6th. In Montclair news, 2 bats were found in Montclair that have tested positive for rabies virus. The 2 bats were both found on the Garden State Parkway on September 2nd, yesterday. The Montclair Township Health Department was notified by the New Jersey Department of Health lab that the 2 bats were found and had tested positive. And let's go down to our weather report. The weather today is going to be cloudy, but not with a chance of meatballs. Shout out to Disney. The temperature outside right now is about 70 degrees, but the high will be 80 and the low will be 63 degrees with a good set of humidity, looking at a 92% chance of showers, and around 12 o'clock. We predict a little bit more, but it should blow over around 5. This week, we have a lot of sunshine coming up. Tomorrow, we have sunny skies, a high of 80 and a low of 58. Thursday, we have sunny skies again and a high of 72 with a low of 54. And then Friday is even more sunny skies with a high of 77 and a low ball of 50.
You guys, I walked outside today and I just thought to myself, ugh, there's more rain. We're already even having, I'm like, we're having a bad fall already. But you know what? Fall hasn't even begun, so I can't even say that.
Last week's summer.
Hey, I take this as fall. Once the weather dips under 80 degrees anytime for me, okay, it's fall enough. So
Yeah.
that works for me. So let's move on to our sports. Sports. All right. And right now we're going to start off with MSU athletics. Delaney St. Peter of volleyball earns NJAC's Defensive Player of the Week. Shout out to Delaney, doing your job out there. And Ian Chesney of the men's soccer team earns new NJAC Defensive Player of the Week also. Haley Martin of the women's soccer team earns NJAC's Defensive Player of the Week. Mike Ramos of the football earns NJD's Defensive Player of the Week also. Men's soccer comes with a draw to the Red Lions in a 1-1 finish. Amir Lukovic scored the goal for the Red Hawks. The women's soccer team won today at 2-1 against Uranus. Shout out to the women's soccer team. Carrie Driscoll and Kimberly Campbell scored the late winners, and Haley Martin had a clutch stop. Football came up short 14-6 against number 14th ranked Delaware Valley. Mason Murdoch hit Clance Wilkins in the fourth quarter, but ran out of time. Shout out to our volleyball team who swept in both of their matches against Wilkes and Branch in their home opener. Sky Ramsey had 18 kills on the day, and Kate Rodman had 25 digs, and Delaney St. Peter had 56 assists and 11 kills.
Yeah, sports.
Woo.
Oh, we love so honestly, I just want to say I really enjoy watching women's volleyball.
Oh, yeah? Well, I'm
She's so
pretty
amazing.
sure they will be performing today.
Yeah, I had to verify that they're not going to be. I looked at the old schedule. They play at Kane, so I looked at the wrong schedule. It was-
It's
You know
all
what?
good.
It happens.
But shout out to our women's volleyball team. You guys go rock it tonight against Keene. We know you guys got this, no problem. And the next home volleyball game, best believe some of us from the Morning Buzz will come and support you guys.
Cheering, just supporting our women's volleyball team over there.
maybe who knows if I'll be there. I don't know.
I definitely might try to make it out to some of these events.
Thursday, I got things I got things that I attend.
Cam's
to.
got practice.
Cam's a
he's
busy
got
man.
shows.
I got class.
Oh yeah, you got to get that education. We are in
Oh, yeah.
college. Oh yeah,
Class.
classes. That's so
What?
funny.
School? You go to classes during school time?
You guys go to classes in college? What? This was not on the tour. No,
I actually, funny enough, my younger sister just started college, and when we dropped her off, after a couple hours, we got a text message in the family group chat with all the siblings, and she was like, "Guys, like, what do I do now?"
oh,
And we're like, "Well, welcome to being an adult.
if you don't mind
We
me,
never know what we're doing."
if you don't mind me asking, where does she go?
She goes to Rutgers, Newark.
Ah,
Yeah, she goes to
Sydney.
Rutgers, Newark. Shout out to my younger sister, Sydney. She's going for a law degree of some sort. Don't know why. Well, I do know why. Too much CSI watching.
Understandable.
So
That's
yeah,
understandable.
Just the generation for it.
yeah, they're all like CSI, Law and Order junkies. Most, at least in my house, we are big Law and Order junkies. So
Mm, I see. But
yeah, man.
You guys, it is time for one of my favorite segments of all time. We're doing Am I in the Wrong? Am I in the wrong?
Yes.
I like the theme
Nope.
song.
No,
That was-
Kim.
I like it.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Anyway, please join us as we deep dive into the world of Reddit and, of course, messy situations. Disclaimer. These are not our personal experiences. These are stories from users on Reddit. Let's just go in first. Am I in the wrong for missing my daughter's birth? Yikes. For a little background information, I, 28 male, have a beautiful wife, 27 female. We've been trying for a baby for about 3 years now and have known each other since we were in high school. When my wife found out she was pregnant, we were thrilled and have been getting prepared for months now. As of right now, she is 9 months. My dad is really not a nice guy, but he does keep me employed. He owns a pretty nice Italian restaurant that has been run by my family for decades. I've worked there since I was about 15, and I am now head chef. The problem is, he treats his employees pretty bad, including myself. And if you even miss one shift, you get demoted or worse, fired. I was in the middle of a very hectic shift on the busiest day of the week when my mother-in-law called saying my wife went into labor and I needed to get to the hospital right away. When I asked my dad if I could go, he said, quote, "You can go if you're okay with being unemployed," which I couldn't risk because after the baby was born, my wife would be off work for quite a while to be a stay-at-home mom. The reason my dad was so mad at the idea of me leaving was that he was understaffed and really needed my help. When I tried calling my mother-in-law, she wouldn't pick up, so I just kept working and thought I could explain myself later. Later, when it was time to go home, I drove to the hospital, but my mother-in-law and her sisters refused to let me in the room and called me names like a, quote, a bad father and bad husband. When it was finally time to leave the hospital, my wife and newborn baby went home with my mother-in-law, and they haven't spoken to me in days, even when I try and apologize and explain myself. I thought I was doing the right thing, but I need to know, am I in the wrong? What
I
do you
say
guys think?
no,
Hmm.
because he's trying. Like, I understand that, you know, his dad could have been more understanding, because that is the dad's grandchild that's gonna be at birth. But at the same time, it's like you got to look out for you got to look out for your family,
Mhm.
and with that threat saying that you're gonna be fired, you're gonna be unemployed. It's like that links in the back of your mind. Like, okay, well, if I'm unemployed and my wife's gonna be a stay-at-home mom for the time being,
Who's gonna bring in the money?
exactly.
Mhm.
You know, she like you can have your wife go back to work and you be the stay-at-home dad, but like
That's true, but we don't know if the wife has jobs.
exactly. So based off what we know, I say he's not in the wrong.
Okay. What else? What do you guys think?
Go ahead, Emo. You go first.
No, I need one moment. I was gonna say I'm reading
Yeah,
it.
I'm like going through it myself and thinking about it, and I'm just thinking to myself, like,
It's such a tough situation.
how are these people even mad at this individual if it's is it the father, his father?
Yes,
Like
It's
it's
his
his
dad.
father, not the spouse's father.
It's his dad.
It's his dad.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
Oh,
Okay, I just finished it.
okay. I guess I mean for me, I don't think he's in the wrong, because obviously you would need the bread, but like it being your dad, I would have pushed the envelope. I pushed the envelope on my father all the time. Like if he says he's not going to do anything, I'm going to test it. I'm going to test and see if you're going to really go through with it.
I'm one of those kids.
Yeah, of course. I've always been one of those kids. I'm not going to just I was probably one of the kids that put his hand in the fire before after my parents told me not to, but I got to test it to at least see what's going on, because if my dad's like, "Oh, you're going to lose your job." All right, you're going to let your grandchild go without food?
I was gonna say.
I just don't
Yeah.
see that being a viable answer. So I could kind of see why his wife and mother-in-law are upset, because it's like my mom even talks about how my dad was away on a business trip when my youngest sister was born, and she was like low-key upset, not like exactly because he made it there in time, but like the birth of your child is
Important.
it's probably the most
Well,
important thing in your life besides marriage.
I was gonna say that they said like they've been trying for 3 years, and it's like
That's a long time.
so that's a long time, and
huge
clearly this is something that like is really important for both of them. I mean, it's a whole child and they're like starting a new chapter of their lives, and I'm like, if they've been trying for a child, I'm assuming this is their first one then, right?
Mhm.
And so like that's a really significant thing, and also in that being their first child, this means that this is his wife's first time having a child,
Oh
which
yeah.
could be
Yep.
absolutely terrifying
Mm.
And
and
traumatic.
traumatic.
possibly.
So this is like, you should definitely, if you are able to, you should be there for your partner in that situation. And I honestly think that he should have just left, that he's very much in the wrong. I feel like
Yeah.
the father's father
Is definitely in
is
the wrong.
the worst in this situation.
yeah.
I agree with
Like,
that.
why can't you let that go? Like, I've seen like local businesses who shut down for an entire day if there's a birth or a death in their family, because that's just what you do. You be there for family, something that's significant in a good or a bad way. It doesn't matter.
You should still
just
be
like-
there for them.
Exactly. You should prioritize family over work. Like, I'm sorry, you could lack one person for one day, or even shut down for one day.
No, listen. You gotta ask the question. It's not asking if the father, if the guy's dad's in the wrong. It's asking if he's in the wrong.
No, I'm still saying he's in the wrong.
Yeah,
I think
I
he definitely
think-
should have left.
I definitely think that like you should have pushed that envelope, low key. You should have. I would always test it. And if it was like, oh, a random boss at a random job, then
Then
I can
yeah.
understand a little bit more. Like you may not want to push it, even though most corporate jobs give you what's it called? Not
Paid leave.
bereavement.
Paid leave.
Is
Paid
it-
leave.
yeah.
Maternity leave. There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, maternity leave. But like it's your dad. It's his own grandchild. I would have been like, yeah,
Here's-
I'm leaving.
Here's my thing. This is why I kind of think the husband, the father, is a little bit in the wrong. is because I feel like he could have communicated this so much better.
Yeah.
Like,
for
I
sure.
get it, you're at work, you're doing your job, but your wife is in labor, so
Mhm.
you should probably let her know what's on your end and why you're not showing up, because that's messed
Yeah.
up. That's seriously messed up.
So like he just completely was called and was like, okay, let me figure this out, and then didn't hear from him at all
Yeah.
until the night.
Yeah, it's
That's hard.
yeah,
Like you could shoot a text. Like, did that
did that ever cross your mind?
like
Yeah.
I don't understand.
He's taking a big L on this one. You're gonna just have to sit in the doghouse for a little bit, my
Yeah.
friend.
Because like now short, I mean it's I suppose complicated because it's good he still has his job and then could provide for the family, but that was a really significant moment that he now missed out on. And like it's
Just make sure you're there for the other ones, like walking, talking,
mhm.
all those
Gotta be
first teeth and all the other stuff.
he would have to be on his A game.
But
Oh yeah.
oh, okay.
What do you mole?
Oh, I was gonna say, sorry. If he's not gonna be there for the birth of the child, then who's to say that he's gonna be there for other significant moments?
That is
And
so
is the
true.
dad like not gonna let him go? Like, oh, like other big things, or is he just gonna miss out for a job where like a restaurant? Like, no, if go, you can find another restaurant.
I'll be
If your dad's that bad,
I mean,
that's what I'm saying.
unless I will say, family businesses.
but
I mean, only as in that aspect of giving
you're
him
gonna-
the business.
you're gonna
That's what
emphasize family in one way and not the other.
No,
That's interesting, that's the
I'm
thing.
saying the family business being passed to him.
Um,
That's the only thing why I could see where the dad doesn't let him, because the business is gonna get handed to him, hopefully. So that if you're a busboy, I can understand, just who cares. But like,
I
if
suppose.
it is your family restaurant and eventually dad is gonna give it to you and
But that's
that's
the
your
thing.
money for your kid.
Does he want it? I don't know.
That's a whole other
other
situation.
can.
Gotta ask.
But you know what? I don't think
Can't afford-
Whoever you are in
No.
Reddit, please message us at
Shut up.
WMSC.
Shut up,
You get the
Kyle.
rest of
Shut
the
up.
context.
if you want.
Forget all that. Everyone, please look what Kyle said. That's hilarious.
Oh
Don't
no.
cast in the cradle him. That's funny.
Goodbye. We're gonna take a short break here on the morning
Bye.
buzz.
That's hilarious.
But before we take that
That's
break, Reddit's vote is that the dad, the chef, the head chef, the worker is in the wrong. We
Tough.
will be right back.
Yeet.
That's
Okay, yeah. So
Welcome back here on the Morning Buzz.
On the morning.
For those of you-
This is chaos.
No, there was a dog on that went viral on TikTok for being that kind
Rest-
of dog.
Rest in peace, Pudgy Woke.
Yeah.
He was a little chihuahua. He was a little old man, a little chihuahua, and he was adorable. And he said, "Ow, ow." So Emil and I always go.
That's the way of communication. That's
Yes.
I feel like that's the only way you can communicate.
that's happy
This
hour.
be
That's,
our-
that's a happy hour. Only OGs remember happy hour.
Yeah, now if
For-
you want to communicate to your friends, hey, want to go out?
You mean happy hour at 2 p.m. on Fridays, on Thursdays,
Thursday.
Oh wow.
on WMSC?
Oh,
It
yeah.
moves around a little bit.
You got the old schedule, huh?
Yeah, the old schedule. But if you want to check out the latest schedule, it's at WMSCradio.com.
Oh word.
Oh, word.
It's a website.
Website's
The
up.
website is up.
And
Inside
that's
joke.
amazing because Brendan Fraser's emotions are also up.
Yeah. So Brendan Fraser gets emotional after accepting the highest honor at TIFF,
The
Toronto International Film Festival.
yeah. My brain didn't work for a second.
Same here. I had to read it too. Quotes. This is new for me. Brendan Fraser. Also, Fraser was overwhelmed with emotion while accepting his tribute award for his role in The Whale at Sunday's Toronto International Film Festival gala. According to People, the 53-year-old actor who underwent a huge physical transformation to play a 600-pound man in the film has been collecting awards for the role and recently received a 6-minute standing ovation at Venice International Film Festival. Fraser said, quotes, "Wow, this is new for me because normally I am that guy at the podium who hands these things out. I think the last time I waited to hear my name called out and receive an award was in grade 4, and it was from Pee Wee Bowling League." Director Darren Aronofsky and screenwriter Samuel D. Hunter presented the award to Fraser, who said, quotes, "The Whale is a redemption story about a guy called Charlie, and he's gone through a significant life changes, and he's forgotten about who he is and the ones he loved, and he's running out of time to tell them that he can do it, that he can at all."
To tell him if he can.
Oh, I
If-
missed that whole part.
That sentence is a
That's a-
weird one.
That's a hard.
He's running out of
That
time
if
to
he
tell them
can at
that if he can at all.
Oh, to tell them that they love. Okay, that hurt my brain.
Mine too.
It continues to hurt my brain.
But
The Whale premieres in theaters this on December 9th. Good lord.
honestly, good for Brendan Fraser.
He needs it. Like
You were told redemption stories.
I definitely agree with you, Laura. Like we were talking off air about how amazing he was in the Mummies movies.
Like
how
I
did he
said,
fall off?
like I said off air, The Mummy is one of my comfort movies. To be honest with you,
I agree.
It's- I really just think it's such an amazing action film. Like genuinely.
And then obviously, besides the Mummy, for most people who probably don't realize it, Brendan Fraser is the guy that played live action Tarzan.
He did.
Well,
George
it's
of the
not,
Jungle.
not Tarzan,
George.
George of the Jungle, but one in the same, basically.
He was also in Journey to the Center of the Earth.
Like these movies were so good. How did he get blackballed so bad that he just didn't get any roles? Like
Right?
it doesn't make any sense. Like he was such a big face in movies and whatnot, and now I feel like I haven't seen him in anything until this recent Whale movie.
Let's see. I'm looking at his IMDb as of right now.
Oh, that's hilarious.
He was in the show Doom Patrol.
What is that?
Not sure.
That was I do know that Doom Patrol was a DC TV show that came out on HBO around the same time as the Titans. It was like a live action superhero TV show that DC had put out. Hopefully they withdrew it because let me not give my opinions on it.
It's
Oh.
DC.
T.
It's my
he
left foot.
was also in a TV show called Professionals, which I am not 100% sure. I haven't heard of most of these shows or movies, so
I really hope that this Whale movie gets him an Oscar of some sort, or it puts him on the roll into getting a Oscar nominated worthy role.
Or puts him on a role to have a true redemption arc. Like,
That's what I'm saying. He
like
needs,
Robert Downey Jr.
he
in Iron Man.
needs it. He needs it. Not even just Robert Downey. Like there are a few guys that are gonna be in the next couple of years. We're gonna be seeing a quite possible renaissance in there.
No, I'm saying like one of those kind of redemption arcs.
Yeah.
Like Robert Downey Jr. was literally at the lowest of the low, and then he became Tony Stark for the next 11 years.
Hey man, it's hard to have redemption arcs nowadays, but I definitely can say Brendan Fraser, if there's any individual that I would vote for to have a redemption arc, he'd be on my list. He'd definitely be on my list.
No, 1000%. And honestly, I really hope I think this movie's really going to be good for him,
I think it will be.
It's already is, like, genuinely.
I mean,
So as of right now.
I haven't seen it yet, so hopefully we could find a way to get that movie out to us in this room and we could all watch it, give our opinions later on. But
it seems good for it's doing good for him right now because of the Academy. So let's hope that translates to the media and the audiences,
Yeah. Okay.
Right? I was pretty proud of that one. But
you know what else is pretty crazy? Who's going pretty crazy in the film industry right now?
Harry Styles.
Oh my goodness.
Harry Styles.
Speaking of
Harry
Harry Styles.
Styles.
Speaking of Harry Styles says wasted time is the most important theme of my policeman. At a Toronto International Film excuse me, you guys.
Tiff.
At a Toronto International Film Festival press conference, the one and only Harry Styles spoke about how playing a closeted policeman taught him the importance of time. According to the Toronto Sun, Styles told journalists following a screening on Sunday, quote, "For me, the reason why the story is so devastating is that ultimately to me, the whole story is about wasted time, and I think wasted time is the most devastating thing." The decade-spanning love story centers a closeted policeman named Tom, played by Harry Styles, who falls for Patrick, a museum curator played by David Dawson. Tom represents his true feelings by going on a date and later marrying a school teacher played by Emma Corrin. The film flips back and forth between the 50s and 90s, where the trio, played by Linus Roach, Rupert Everett, and Gina McGee respectively, have to deal with the regret of the decisions they made not to act on their real emotions 40 years earlier. Styles continued describing his character's tragic narrative arc with, quote, he accepts that he is going to deny this part of himself for a really long time. My Policeman is set to be released in theaters on October 21st before hitting Prime Video on November 4th.
You know what's crazy? This film might come out and it might be an amazing film, like content wise, for what it's about, being that it's about a closeted police officer. But to be honest, there's only one film right now that I'm looking towards, seeing from Harry Styles, and that's the Don't Worry, Darling film, because there is so much tea and drama surrounding that film. Bruh, that film might be nominated for so many Academy Awards, but I don't even think the cast like each other.
Yes.
I don't know if most people have seen the video.
Harry Styles
You guys,
saying hi.
you guys,
Yes.
we covered the story about Harry Styles and Chris Pine. For those of you who don't know, people on Twitter went crazy at the Venice Film Festival. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I
think it was.
so, yeah.
But it was alleged that Harry Styles apparently spit on Chris Pine, which it doesn't seem like he did.
I now know what you're talking about. I didn't think so. I kept watching the video. I was very confused. I didn't see any. I just saw a reaction.
Yeah, I saw the reaction too. I just saw the reaction.
I saw Pine's reaction, but like prior to Pine's reaction, Harry Styles, while sitting down, his mouth made the motion of spitting. Like it was like
What?
it was like a kissing motion, and it's like you're not kissing the air.
I-
So it's kind of like that. And
You know
then
what?
I
Maybe
will,
He was. Maybe he was.
Maybe
but I
He's
will
kind of
then,
wild.
I will
Look
then.
in the air if he did that. TBH.
Listen,
Oh my
I was
gosh.
kissing my girlfriend.
No,
It's the air.
no, no,
you're
no.
done. Cam's in timeout.
Done.
Cam is in
Timeout.
timeout. Your fader's down too.
No, but I know that for besides that, there was another video from somebody else that showed, I think at the same time, I don't know if this what he said was true, but you could see Harry Styles saying to Olivia Wilde that we're over, quite possibly. And I think they were dating during the filming of the movie.
No, they were they're definitely are dating. I don't know if they're still dating. You know, we're doing some research right now.
That's what I'm saying is
I
that
think
there's way too much
there's
going.
so much
on
tea.
in
There's
this
so much
film.
tea. Now, if the film is like a masterpiece too,
And you know, wait, that's not even the only thing. I remember that Olivia Wilde, the girl that plays the main character in the movie, she's a huge up and coming actress. What's her name? Do you have it, Laura?
What's her name? Florence.
Florence
Florence
Pugh.
Pugh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so Florence Pugh
Yep,
is
yep.
a part of that film,
Wedding.
but supposedly Florence Pugh has no promo for the movie on her Instagram.
That's hilarious.
After being like so talked about how she loved Olivia Wilde and how Olivia Wilde is her role model and she was so happy to be on the film, no film promo was done. And then more people looked into it that there's possibly beef going on between Olivia Wilde and Florence Pugh.
That's
so
hilarious.
besides Chris Pine and quite possibly Harry Styles having beef, the relationship between Olivia Wilde and Harry Styles is on the rocks, quite possibly. And then the relationship between director and main actress is on the rocks too. This film might go down as one of the most tea-written films ever.
Yo, if this film is a pretty tough film, if this film was love, like if this movie is just like like top tier, god tier,
I wouldn't be surprised.
yo, like
it's like a horror mystery.
yo, oh yeah. So in spite of all that going on in the background, and it's a good film. Hey, bring more drama. Bring more drama. Bring more
Bring
drama.
more drama to the Hollywood backgrounds, because I'm telling you, this film is surrounded by rumors, but it's also surrounded by good rumors about the film itself. So like a lot of people said they like what they've seen from the film recently. So it's like, does it really matter if the co-hosts, I mean the co-actors, the stars of the film don't get along?
No. Yo, yo, just keep it coming. Keep it coming. Because if that's what it takes to make a good film, hey, I'm not arguing one bit.
Hey, Laura, so you said you were looking up if they're still together. What did you find?
So a report by The Sun says, according to sources close to the couple, the rumor that Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde, is it Wilde or
Wild.
well,
I guess it prefers to the individual.
yeah. Well, the rumor that Harry Styles and Olivia Wilde have broken up is nonsense.
Oh.
This was 6 days ago.
I'm looking around and I'm seeing that they're still together.
Yeah.
There we go.
But you never know.
That's what
You
I'm
never know.
saying. She did break up with her husband, or get a. I don't know if they're divorced yet or just broken up.
Right now, don't
But her
Don't
husband,
worry, darling.
I like her husband. I think her husband might be one of the top actors in the game currently with his TV show. His TV show that he has on Apple TV where he plays a soccer
Apple
coach.
TV, is this? What's
Yeah.
oh, Ted Lasso?
Yeah, he's Ted Lasso.
Wait, that's Olivia Wilde's husband?
Yes, Jason Sudeikis, I believe. I think his name is.
Oh, I think I saw that
They-
they split in 2020.
According
Yeah.
to people.com, they ended their relationship in 2020 after a 7-year engagement.
But I
Yeah.
heard that involved Harry Styles. She started seeing Harry Styles around that
Started dating
time.
Harry Styles in 2021.
So one of the things that I came across, and unfortunately I don't have the article up, so I don't even know how reliable this is, but said that apparently they went public, or it came out that she and her husband were divorced and then like within 2 months posted photos with Harry. But she's like, well, they started splitting up over time, so by the time that everyone saw photos of them, it looked sudden.
That's what I'm saying. I don't
Uh,
believe that. I
I
don't
don't know.
believe that, in the slightest bit. You can't be engaged for 7 years and then
Move on that
within
fast.
2 months you move on to
Mhm.
someone half your age almost.
No, 10 years.
Not only
10 years.
that, Jason, how do you say his
Sudeikis.
Jason Sudeikis is also going through custody drama with Olivia Wilde, so that's a little bit messy, and I'm not gonna touch that with a 10-foot pole. So we're gonna take a little break here on the Morning Buzz. Shout out to Emil, who is sitting right across from me,
Hi.
and she found a song by. How do you say his
I
name?
think it's just Joe.
Is it just Joe?
Just Joe, spelled DJO.
It's literally just Joe, aka Steve from Stranger Things. Have I mentioned I love Steve yet?
No.
Anyway, this is Half-Life. Let's hope it works. Manifest for me, you guys.
Oh,
JK, you know what, you guys? It's been a slow morning and I found the problem. Welcome back here on the Morning Buzz. We just listened to Half-Life by. How do you say his name again, Emil? I keep forgetting. Joe.
It's just Joe.
I'm sorry, just Joe. That was great. Anyway, welcome back here on the Morning Buzz. Just for a little time check, it is currently 8:40 a.m. and all of that fun jazz. But now it's time for some weird news. So let's get into it. And this next story kind of makes me a little sad because royal beekeeper informs the queen's bees that Her Majesty has passed away. No, don't laugh. Don't laugh. The royal beekeeper and a tradition thought back to centuries has informed the hives kept on the
It
grounds
is
of
okay to be
Buckingham
so
Palace
stressed and overwhelmed that you
and
feel like you need to
Clarence
talk to
House
someone about
of
it.
the
And by
Queen's
that, I
death.
mean going to therapy.
No, stop
Lately, the
laughing.
transition from
I'm-
college
Xavier, I'm
into
putting you in timeout.
post-grad and working full-time
And the bees have
adulting
also been
has been
told
really
in hushed
stressful.
tones
It's a
that
lot
their
of
new master
change.
is
And
now
so
King
I've been
Charles
using
III.
BetterHelp to help guide me through this huge time in my life. And I've been
Timeout.
loving it.
Only my mic
BetterHelp
is on
will
right
assess
now.
your needs and match
The
you with
official
a
palace
professional
beekeeper,
licensed
John
therapist
Pat,
in as
told
little as
Mail
48
Online how he
hours
traveled to
signing up.
Buckingham
The
Palace
therapist I've
on
been
Friday
talking to
following the news
specializes in
of the
work-life
Queen's death to
balance,
carry out
stress,
the
overwhelm,
superstition
and
ritual.
self-care. So it was
He
the
placed black
perfect match
ribbons
for me.
tied into
I
bows
also
on the
wanted a
hive,
Christian
home to
therapist,
tens
so
of
when I was
thousands of
signing up, I
bees,
was able
before
to
informing them that
select
their
and search
mistress
for
has died
Christian
and a
therapists,
new master
just so we
would
could
be
have
in
that
charge
same
from now
background and
on.
that same
He
foundation.
then
The
urged the
service
bees
is
to be
available
good
to
to
clients
the new
worldwide, and you
master,
can log in
himself
and
once
send a
famed for
message to
talking
your
to
therapist at
plants.
any time.
An old
You'll get a
superstition
thoughtful and
underpins
timely
the strange
response. Plus,
ritual
you can schedule
that not
weekly video
telling them
or
of a
phone
change
sessions,
of
so
ownership
you won't have to
would
sit in
lead
an
to the bees not
uncomfortable
producing
waiting room
honey,
like with
leaving the
traditional
hive
therapy. And
or
BetterHelp is
even
committed
dying.
to facilitating great
Speaking from the
therapeutic
Buckingham
matches,
Palace
so they
guards,
make it
Mr.
easy and
Chapel
free
told
to
Mail
switch
Online,
therapists
quote,
anytime if
I'm at
needed.
the hive
So I
now,
highly
and
encourage
it
you all
is
to check
tradition
out
when someone
BetterHelp if
dies
you're
that
interested
you
and
go to the
start your
hive and say
therapy
a low
journey
prayer
today.
and put a black ribbon on the hive. Okay, you guys are out of timeout now.
I don't know if they deserve to be taken out.
I don't even know what to say. I don't even. Bees are I feel like bees are literally internally built to make honey.
More
So
than
the fact that
850 fashion brands
the
in
fact
one
that
country.
we're
Here's
talking about
purposes
how
are covered.
possibly not telling them there was a transfer of the monarchy
They
may
probably
cause that.
No idea what's going on.
I don't understand.
I highly doubt they even knew who Lizzie was.
You did not.
They I highly doubt they truly understood who she was. So the fact that we're even communicating that Charles is now in power instead of her is very, I don't know.
You
It's
know what? Maybe the late queen visited her bees. Maybe. What? Maybe she
I can see even evil said it. I didn't even have to say it. I didn't have to say it this time.
I don't know. You can't make this up. I
Did I?
suppose.
Did I?
I felt like I missed something, but I guess
Her Majesty said some. Oh, bees.
Hey, did you produce honey for me today for my tea?
No.
PSA.
Back where you go.
PSA. I personally love tea with honey.
Same.
Yeah.
I'm gonna
That's
tell you
not
how I
bad.
take my tea.
Okay.
Let us know.
Let us know.
Either I do decaf tea
Mm-hmm.
or sleepy tea,
Mm-hmm.
and then I do a tablespoon of honey, and I put the spoon over the mug to let the honey warm up a little bit, and then I drizzle it in, and then I add a splash of oat milk,
Oh my
and
goodness.
it's delicious.
That
Oh, you
sounds
know what I do?
amazing.
You know what I do?
Thank
I
you.
just make the tea
No.
and just just squeeze the life out the honey and just go around like
Oh
3
my
rotations
God.
and then just just spin it
I
around.
just love y'all some sweet and
and then
sugar.
just drink it.
I don't think Kyle is done typing, or he will be, but in the morning buzz chat he just says honey milk tea, and you know what, I have to agree. He
I
is talking
agree.
about boba.
Aww.
Honey milk tea is probably my favorite boba, and I introduced Kyle, shout out previous Tuesday buzz host,
Nah,
and
he's in the
it's
grip beyond now.
he's in the great shout out
He's in the shadow realm.
Kyle from the Beyond.
In
But
the shadow realm.
honey milk tea is probably my favorite boba.
You see, I've never been a boba type of guy because it's too much sugar, and I'm not a big
Well, you
sugar
can get
fan.
less.
I'm me personally. I'm a big green tea guy. So I do a Japanese. I always get I think it's called Itawan or Itawan
Yeah.
tea. I always go.
I don't care. I don't know what it's called. I don't care.
I always go to H Mart. H Mart is the best. I
H-Mart.
love me some H Mart. I go to H Mart and I get I get my Japanese style tea, and it has some chamomile in it.
Ooh,
What is an H Mart?
I love
H
chamomile.
Mart is like ShopRite, but for Asian culture.
Ah,
So you have your more traditional Asian teas, meats, spices.
ah.
So obviously if you're big into Asian food, whether Chinese, Korean, Japanese. You could find all the different delicacies. Onigiri is there. You got your soups, your ramens, and all that different kind of stuff.
Do you guys
So
know?
hungry.
Do you guys know what I really like from H Mart?
What?
The little sodas.
Oh
like,
yeah,
Like you pop, like the marble.
the pop the marble one.
I haven't had those in so long.
I can't tell you the last time I had soda, like actual soda, in a very, very long time.
Let's go get some. I feel like every week it's just gonna be like, let's go get some food, and like, will we do it? I don't know. Stay tuned.
Probably not.
Probably not.
I bring it.
We'll
One
talk
day.
about it. We'll talk
We'll
about
talk
it.
about it. We'll
We
entertain it.
won't do it.
Sobs.
So with that being said, do you guys think we can get some food from the dollar store?
Oh yes. So John Oliver calls British Prime Minister Liz Truss the dollar store British Leslie Nope. John Oliver isn't overthrown about the new British Prime Minister Liz Truss, calling her a number of things on Sunday night's episode Last Week Tonight. I love that show, including not limited to quotes Margaret Thatcher if she were high on glue. Okay.
I got nervy.
Margaret Thatcher if she was enjoying glue,
There we go.
and quotes dollar store British Leslie Nope. That's funny. But he does think Truss was gifted a pretty easy first week in the office. Thanks to Queen Elizabeth II's death. Truss was elected earlier this year to succeed Boris Johnson after he bowed to public pressure and resigned. Oliver added that between Truss taking over and King Charles III taking over the throne from his mother, he claimed that things are pretty bleak in the UK right now. He said, quote, this guy, King Charles III, is about to be on all the money, and the morning TV is now basically the Hunger Games. That's hilarious. This refers to a segment of a British morning show which the host spun a wheel of potentially pay people for energy bills. Oliver also joked with quotes, but don't worry, Britain, your future is now securely in the hands of the dollar store British Leslie Nope here. Everything is going to be
Okay, probably.
Did any of you guys watch Parks and Rec?
I think Parks and Rec is better than The Office.
Interesting.
Hot take.
Interesting.
Shout out to my crush who's a big Office fan. You're wrong. Office isn't better.
Shout out, you're wrong.
Just want to let everybody know. If you're an Office fan over a Parks and Rec fan, you're wrong.
shout out incorrect.
You were just wrong. L's in the chat. L's in the chat for fans of Office over Parks and Rec.
Honestly, I loved The Office in high school, but I don't know. Whenever I put it on again, I'm just like, okay, that's cool. That's fine.
Telling people it's not that funny. It's funny, but it's not that funny.
It holds a nostalgia for me, and I feel like that's why I'm okay with watching it once in a while. But besides that, I'm not gonna watch it to laugh. I'm gonna watch it because it's comforting, you know.
See, we were talking about funny shows. How I Met Your Mother.
That's a good one.
I never watched that one.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Laura,
Mm-hmm.
that should be your homework.
My
Watch How I Met Your Mother. Great show.
Yeah, my parents always like watch something while we're eating dinner,
Family
and
Guy.
we rotate through things. No, we're not watching Family Guy.
You ever watch 2.5 Men?
No,
Have you ever watched,
it's 80s sitcoms or nothing.
I haven't watched like
Respectfully.
any
Nice.
show that you guys have just mentioned.
you never watched How I Met Your Mother?
No.
What? I'm so confused. Like, if you haven't, like, these are things you need to watch. How I Met Your Mother, amazing.
You know what show I need to watch, actually? So obviously the shows that we need to watch. Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
That's another
I heard that show's
amazingly funny
Watched it,
show.
I heard that show's hilarious.
watched it constantly,
Hilarious.
and so it would just be there. She only watches that and like iCarly, and I'm really glad that it's
What
on
a
the side.
dynamic.
I know.
It's
Children on the internet.
wait, tell me, which iCarly? Is it new iCarly or old iCarly?
Old
Oh,
iCarly.
no, never mind.
Yeah,
That's even worse.
that and like Criminal Minds.
And
She watches.
I
That's the most I've seen. It's just when I'm chilling and she's chilling, and it just plays. And Yeah, so I
So-
don't watch a lot of TV. Have I mentioned I'm a TV major?
No.
That's hilarious.
Have I mentioned
Sobs.
that I'm 100% okay with friends slander?
Well, I mean,
All right.
everybody should have known a long time ago. Friends wasn't really that funny.
I think
It's not that funny.
it's like if it's on, like just reruns just there, it's like okay, like I won't turn it off, but I don't run to like, oh, I need to go watch Friends
I mean,
No.
like,
immediately.
they have a whole amusement park now for it, though.
No way.
Or not amusement park, but like there's like a museum for
Yes.
Friends. Like,
Oh.
is it really
I
that
mean,
good?
I guess it's iconic, if
It is.
anything.
It's
but
a pop culture staple, but
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go crazy over it.
yeah.
But if I
How
were to be
did-
one of them, I would be Phoebe.
How did
Phoebe's
we?
my vibe.
all
All
right.
right, quick question
I
then.
can see that.
Yeah.
Which
Let's
one is
acknowledge.
bigger,
What's bigger?
Friends or Sex in the City?
Friends.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. Well, it depends on what year it is. If it's the 90s, sure. But if it's the 2000s, then yeah.
Kyle said Friends is overrated. I agree
Well,
with this.
Friends is
my
overrated.
dad
Yeah.
worked on Sex in the City, so that's gonna have to be my vote, even though I've never seen it.
Hey, listen.
But it's the reason that we have a house, so I've been told. So I'll have to defend that.
That's-
with
that's
my
good.
life.
I just got some breaking news from Montclair State Athletics.
Oh, what
What's up?
happened?
So tomorrow's women's soccer game at 4 p.m. canceled.
Wow. Big oof.
That is a big rough L.
Oh well.
Life really
Oof
does
size
happen, you
large.
guys.
L's in the chat for that.
Oh,
L's in the chat for that.
what I wanted to mention before. Have any of you watched Seinfeld?
No, I need to watch Seinfeld
I-
because I heard Seinfeld is hilarious.
Only episodes here and there, but
Me
not
too.
religiously or anything.
I've heard Seinfeld is hilarious.
I like Seinfeld. I'm a Seinfeld enjoyer when it's on once in a while.
Have you ever seen
Curb?
Cheers?
Anybody done Curb?
No.
I have not.
Nobody done a Curb? I like
My
Curb. Curb's pretty good.
my shout out to my dad. My dad's a big fan of
Hi, Dad.
Frasier.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are a lot of I think one of the guys from that from Seinfeld actually was just recently photoshopped in for a fashion company doing their most recent fall line
Mm.
that's coming out. I can't remember what company, but yeah,
Mm.
I think it was Jerry Seinfeld actually.
We love.
Let me look this up for you guys.
I'm trying to think of other
Classic shows.
like sitcoms. I
Ooh,
Oh.
Roseanne.
I
Yikes.
Roseanne. I'm sorry. I like Roseanne.
like Roseanne, but I know she's canceled now.
I like Roseanne
Yeah.
before she went crazy.
Yeah.
That was always
true.
like one of the shows that played when I couldn't sleep, and it would just be on in the middle of the night, like Home Improvement
Mm-hmm.
and oh,
I actually never seen
shoot,
Home
what's
Improvement.
the
There's a
George
show.
Lopez.
George Lopez,
Yeah.
always a classic. There's a show. I forget. It was the rules day for a teenage daughter.
What?
I forget something like that. Some it had who was the actor? The actor died midway, and they had a whole season dedicated to him.
Hmm.
He was. I gotta look it up now because this is gonna bug me.
But yeah, as of right now, our dinner watching show has been Who's the Boss? Has anyone ever heard of that one?
I have not.
Have not.
It's great. Would recommend.
Eight
I would
Simple Rules.
recommend. I
Eight
find
Simple Rules. I think I've heard of that one.
John Ritter's in it.
Ooh, you know
Oh,
what
you're
was a
talking
good
about-
one?
Yep.
In the black community, we have a bunch. You got Martin.
Lawrence class. That's a classic.
You got Martin. You have My Wife and Kids. The Bernie Mac Show.
No,
R.I.P. The Goat.
you ever seen Good Times?
Oh,
No.
I've
heard-
seen Good Times, but I've never like watched too many. episodes.
Sanford and
How
Son.
could we forget Fresh Prince? Ooh, are
Ooh,
you kidding me?
Yeah, shout out to Will.
West Philadelphia.
Born and raised.
On the
Anyway,
playground is where I spent most of my days.
this time it's Los Angeles, not born and raised, because Los Angeles is to celebrate Squid Game Day on September 17th.
Yeah, as
Oh.
in like this Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, over the weekend, city officials proclaimed September 17th as Squid Game Day in Los Angeles. According to NBC Los Angeles, the proclamation is a part of AAPI-LA, a city initiative intended to amplify AAPI community voices. Squid Game was nominated for 14 Emmy Awards in July and is the first non-English language series to earn a nomination for Outstanding Drama Series. It was also the first Korean and first non-English language series to win a Screen Actors Guild Award. Mayor Eric Garcetti said, quote, "In Los Angeles, we celebrate art, diversity, and the cultural contributions that many creators not only give Los Angeles, but to the world. I am proud to stand alongside city leaders and the creative industry to uplift the work that comes across from the Pacific from our Korean film and television friends and their many additions to our culture fabric." Councilman John Lee that said that the city was celebrating the show's global reach and the work of the director Hwang Dong-woo, who stated the community to the show's idea was more. Excuse me, you guys, because this baffled me because he stayed committed to the show's idea for more than a decade. He
Mhm.
said that Los Angeles holds a special place in his heart, adding that he was truly meaningful for the show to have its own day in the city.
On top of that, main actor in that show, if I am correct, because the Emmys did happen last night,
They in fact did.
won best actor in his role. So I think he's the first Korean man to do so. Let me look that
Wow.
up just for you. But yeah,
So I
he-
feel so out of loop.
We're also going to look up some Emmy winners
I
because
didn't even know that happened.
oh, Zendaya wins lead actress.
I think that's
for
back
Euphoria.
to back years for Euphoria.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to them.
And you were correct. He won lead actor in Squid Game for a drama series.
Yes,
Mhm, mhm.
yes. This is as big as when what's the other one that won the Oscar for best movie came out?
Oh, that guy.
Parasite.
That's a
Oh, yeah.
great film.
That's a great film.
That guy with the face and the nose
No.
and the
Wait.
ears.
Yeah, no, a lot of Korean dramas are starting to make their way overseas and really do numbers. I'm a big fan of K-dramas, and there are a bunch of good ones on Netflix.
Another thing.
You guys, Jason Sudeikis, did I say his name right?
Sudeikis.
Sudeikis, rats. Anyway, he won lead actor for a comedy series.
And they won
Ted Lasso.
outstanding. They won
Hilarious.
the Ted Lasso won outstanding comedies. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I saw a lot of Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize that this happened, and I feel like who's talking about this?
I feel like the Emmys just kind of came up out of nowhere. Like, surprise,
Yeah.
we're here.
I mean, it's because it's television and not movies. I think
That's
it's
true.
not taken as serious
Maybe.
because less people watch TV and more people watch movies. So it's like,
Hmm.
unless you're on streaming services or you're up at night watching these shows,
Mm-hmm.
you're missing
I
out.
suppose.
But one of my life goals is to win an ego.
Yeah.
What?
An
Yeah.
ego. Yeah.
Ooh.
I'm gonna win an
Oh
ego.
my god! And then I could say that I knew him before.
That would be really cool. An Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony.
Oh yeah.
Also, Ted Lasso won Outstanding Comedy Series.
Mhm.
And correct me if I'm wrong, I'm trying to find the show that it's on Apple TV Plus,
Mhm.
but I don't know what show it is exactly.
Oh, Ted Lasso. Oh, it's on the Central Park.
No, what is it called?
Describe it.
I don't know. I'm seeing a lot of tracksuits. Hold on. Episodes.
Are you talking about Ted Lasso?
Yeah, Ted Lasso.
It's a TV show about an American football coach, like tackle football, applies for a job to become a coach for what he thinks is football overseas in England, and it turns out he is the manager of a soccer team.
That sounds hilarious.
Oh, it's great.
Yeah, it's really good. People don't think that they'll be able to do it because the team's garbage, and he ends up bringing the team back and making them winners.
Spoilers alert.
You know what? That show had a great night. Do you know what it's called? X or no?
Ted Lasso?
The show. Is it called?
Yeah, it's called Ted Lasso.
Oh, sheesh.
Yeah.
That's great.
That's the name of the main character. His name's Ted Lasso. The whole show's called Ted Lasso.
Copy and paste. It looks like I'm gonna have to do some research.
But I
on
want
that.
to give a big shout out.
Montclair.
Oh,
X about to give a shout out. What's the shout
I
out?
want to give one big shout out because this is really important to me, and I think to Black culture. Quintina Brunson wins the Emmy for writing in a comedy series for her show.
I'm so glad you mentioned that.
Abbott Elementary.
Ooh.
Amazing show. If you have not watched it before we go off air, I'd advise you to
Amazing.
watch. That's a great show. Such a good one.
Amazing. Thank you for mentioning that.
Yeah.
Oh, it also looks like Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers wins an award as well.
Dale?
Yes.
What?
Yes.
Shout out to
Yo.
Chip and Dale.
Before we close off, let's see. Last week tonight with John Oliver won for Variety Talk series, and
Your show?
think
That show's
that's-
hilarious.
I really think that's all the highlights that I've got.
I see a lot of the White Lotus. I don't know what that is, but I was looking through and I saw a lot of that.
Never heard of it.
I have not.
Might have to be a new show to add.
There's a good chance that my mom has watched every single show.
Shout out
on this
Jody.
list.
Shout out to
Shout out to Jody.
So she'll have to let me know if it was deserving.
Yeah. Anyway, you have been listening to the Morning Buzz here at 90.3 WMSC Upper Montclair. Tune in tomorrow to listen to Leslie Gallagher and Jake Getz report all the news. Anyway, thank you for always starting your day with us, and have a great day. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.